All right, good morning. It's JP Weaver doing my. So I just finished a book last week. Finished on the 25th, and I've already sent it off to the editor. So I finished Gamer Manager Volume 1. I had told myself I wasn't going to start writing the second one, but then I started. And I wanted to go over the things I did there that I don't think I'm going to be doing again or going to change. Saving this for posterity. So the number one thing is I'm not doing any more challenges. I did sect leader as a challenge that did great because it was on meta. This was supposedly on meta, but having to explain to somebody that the main lit RPG thing is that she's able to see people's gaming levels, and that's like I have to teach people what they're about to get themselves into. So there's like a education thing right there. So back up. So I watched a series called Down with the Thickness starring Michelle Buteau, and that gave me the idea for this character. I have a couple of Trinidadian friends. She's Trinidadian. And I was like, I don't know anything about this. I'm going to add in some references. I'm going to hope I do this character well. From a different culture, but really she's like a first generation American, so I can talk about the American experience, and then I have enough immigrant friends where I can just piece together some of their experiences, and then I'm going to send it out and see if other people can kind of vibe with that. So she's a business school professor. She doesn't live with her mom. She lives by the college that she works at. But she does see her mom frequently. So that's a thing that I add in there, just a little thing. So like her mom is on dialysis. And I know a lot about dialysis because I was an EMT and I took people to dialysis a lot. So I added in a lot of like, Weaver knows this, Weaver wants to talk about this. So it made her real. It made her mother's character slow down because her mother was like a go-getter, but then like you have to go sit in the dialysis center for 3 days a week for like 4 to 6 hours so that the machine can filter your blood so that you can keep living. So that kind of made her mom slow down. And then that slowdown is her mom's putting it on to her, right? And what she did was she arranged her schedule around that. So like her mom's dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So she takes her mom on Friday. I left the other ones open because I didn't really define her family too closely. Just her mom is a character in that regard. What else? So she has like 3 groups, right? So she has the kids that she's working. Well, 4 groups. Okay. So she has the students, most of which are in the esports group. I don't think I mentioned many students that aren't. Then she has her friend group, right? And so her friend groups, they play this multiplayer online battle arena game, which it's like League of Legends or Dota. They play that together. So she's managing the team for the college that plays that game, and she can like see people's stats, and she can train them from their current ability to like their potential, right? So they can get better at their stats based on what she does. And then about halfway through the book, I introduce a character that is a coach that she recruits to help her train her guys. So the way the book works is it's a whole semester in her life, right? So in the beginning of the semester, they do a exhibition game against Rockland County, right? So this is all real places with fictional characters at real colleges. That will get really cleaned up in the second draft. So like the thing I liked about this, so I like player manager. So if you like player manager, which is about soccer or football, you'll probably like this. This is my homage to that, except they're doing esports. So I had to go deep into how people do esports, and I actually have a friend who manages the esports teams for his high school, and I was like, "What? How does this work?" He explained to me the season. So they have a season of 8 games, I added in 2 exhibition games. One was against the Bergen Academies, which is a high school, and then one against Rockland County, which is outside of their region. Everything else is within the North Jersey Community College region. And I specifically said that because, like, I know this area. I've been there, and I could, like, conceivably, like, say, like, add in details that would make people just be like, "Is this a real? What's going on here?" Like they do their home games at the Tech Center at Bergen Community College. Okay, so if you've been to Bergen, you kind of know where that is, and you're like, "How much does Weaver know?" Weaver can read a map. So she's got her friend group. So the friend group were really heavily based on Down with the Thickness characters. So one is a divorce lawyer, and the other one is a employment lawyer, and like they're besties, and they all live in Ridgewood together, and because they don't want to leave. They're very like shut in, and they're all like in their late 30s, 40s, and at the beginning of the book, they're all single, and then her friend who does employment law, he finds a girlfriend. She works at the hospital nearby them, and then one of the managers in the game starts dating the divorce lawyer. And I was like, I'm not going to make this about her getting into a relationship, because this is not a romance thing. If she does something, that's fine, but like the way I wrote her, she understands who she is, and any dude that tries to get with her would have to like enhance her life. So I'm trying to make it more realistic. Like, she knows her value. That's kind of a main character I'm trying to write in her. She knows her value, and she's not going to lower herself to be with a guy that doesn't enhance what she has. Does that make sense? Yeah. That was the way I was trying to write. Inspired by Michelle Buteau, who is just. But yeah, I really liked it. It was fun, and then at the end, it got a little bit like a slog, and I was trying to figure out how to finish it. And somebody was like so I got a lot of feedback about I shouldn't focus so much on the games, which at the end it was less about the games and more about the relationships. And I did a lot of explaining of the game, because you have to have some base knowledge to understand what they're doing. And then if I'm trying to characterize the players by how they play the game, then it's hard for me to be like, okay, this person is a support. This is Murph. Murph is supporting the bottom laner, and like she's the president of the thing. So like I'm trying to explain how I'm trying to characterize them through their actions in the game. When next time I'm just gonna have more one-on-ones and more characterization that way. I feel like that's a little bit better. I don't know. You can see the whole thing for free now at Royal Road, but definitely going to focus less on the game itself, even though that is what's happening. Because most of the time in Player Manager, it doesn't focus on the game itself. It focuses on the meta aspect of the game and the player aspect. So that's what I kind of went to. I tried to focus. Once I was like, okay, I know what this is. I know which characters they are. I'm not introducing any more characters about halfway through, except for like Rachel, who was the coach. I'm going to write to these characters. I'm going to think about what these characters would do next. And I introduced like a potential love interest in like the last couple of chapters, because like this is when they would actually meet, because they're going to a convention in Atlantic City. Like, this is when the characters would actually meet, even though the guy is like the brother to the one that the divorce lawyer Stacy is dating. I'm like, okay, this is when they would actually meet, because they're both busy people. They're both adults, and like that's just when their schedules sync up. But yeah, so I had a good time writing this book. It was a slog at the end when I was trying to figure out how to finish it. Now I know what I want to do with it for the second volume, which would be like this semester. And what I'm going to do for this one is I'm not going to post the way I normally do. I usually post like 2,000 to 4,000 words twice a week. I am going to just write this live as if things are actually happening. I'm going to look at the schedule, and then I'm going to just like, hey, this like this actual day, this is what's happening. And then I will probably just post that at the end of the semester, which is like May, assuming I've done all the other stuff I want to do, which is I want to finish. I'm almost done with. So I just picked up the last quarter to the last third of my last book of Nascent Soul Child, which I'm calling The Mandate of Bullshit. Real title, working title, because he's fighting bureaucrats and demonic cultivators. I know where that's going. So I have like 40,000 words left there, 30,000 words left there. Gotta finish up the series. Don't think it's going to be don't think it's going to be 4 books, but I'm like, okay, finish that, start writing Bodega Cat, build a backlog of that, and then see how I'm feeling about Gamer Manager. Because if I'm just going to write it live, like as if I was going through the semester, I would just write, okay, she's got classes Monday through Thursday, and I will write those classes. If something would have happened, if there's nothing that would have happened, I'll skip it. So that's the idea. Okay, so that's my lengthy post-mortem about writing Gamer Manager. I really thought that it was a fun experience. People like it. It's got first person, which means I have to focus on Kelly as a person and what she's doing and how that affects everything else. And then people have to go out and have their own adventures outside of her and then report to her. And then she has to just be like, oh, that's what happened. Because that's first person, right? I wanted this to be in first person. I wanted to have a strong sense of the character's voice. So I'm like, I watched that series and watch again and watch her comedy specials and have a sense of who that character is. And it's never been stronger than in this one. Well, maybe Nathan Soul Child. I've never felt like the character voice so strong than in this one as to what she does and how she talks about herself and how she talks about things. And I like it. I'll probably be doing a lot of first person from now on, except for Bodega Cat. We'll see. Yeah. So that's all I got. Keep writing.